If you feel like making decisions to be more productive and bring clarity to your life is a constant challenge, know that you are not alone. Many people face similar difficulties, whether it is due to a lack of focus, being overwhelmed by options, or simply not knowing where to start. The good news is that there are proven strategies that can transform the way you deal with your routine, your priorities, and your choices. In this content, we present a set of simple but extremely effective rules that have been developed and tested over the years. These rules are like practical tools that help you overcome daily obstacles, allowing you to do more with the time you have, gain confidence in your decisions, and even find ways to excel at what you do. By applying these ideas, you can transform seemingly insurmountable challenges into opportunities for personal and professional growth. Our advice is that you take a few minutes to carefully follow each point. Grab a notebook or open a note on your cell phone and write down the ideas that resonate most with you. After all, knowledge is just the beginning. Real change happens when you put things into practice. Remember, every small action you take today can have a huge impact on your future. So, take this moment to invest in yourself. Let's get started. The 2-minute rule. A small step with big results. The 2-minute rule is one of the simplest and most effective strategies for increasing productivity and combating procrastination. The idea is straightforward. If a task can be completed in 2 minutes or less, don't think twice about it, just do it. This approach may seem trivial at first glance, but the positive impacts on your routine and mindset are enormous. We often let small tasks pile up throughout the day, responding to a quick email, organizing your desk, putting something away in the right place, or even sending an important message. These tasks, when postponed, not only turn into a growing to-do list, but also create unnecessary mental weight. Each one of them takes up space in your mind, contributing to the feeling of being overwhelmed, even if they are simple things. By adopting the 2-minute rule, you can start knocking out these small tasks immediately. This not only reduces your feelings of stress, but also creates a cycle of action and progress. With each completed task, you feel a small victory, which increases your motivation and willingness to tackle more complex tasks. It's like a domino effect. A simple task completed can start a sequence of productive actions throughout the day. In addition, this rule is a powerful ally against procrastination. Studies show that the act of starting a task is often the hardest part. When you lower the barrier to entry to just 2 minutes, it becomes much easier to get started. And once you get started, you often continue beyond the 2 minutes, finishing the task or making significant progress. For example, imagine that you need to make your bed in the morning. This action will probably take less than 2 minutes. When you commit to doing it immediately, you not only start your day feeling organized, but you also establish a pattern of productive behavior that can influence the hours to come. The 2-minute rule also works as an antidote to the "I'll do it later" syndrome. Whenever you think, "I can do this later," you're allowing the task to pile up and often end up putting it off over and over again. This mindset creates a cycle of procrastination that can be broken by deciding to take action now. How to apply the 2-minute rule. Identify quick tasks. Make a mental or written list of activities that typically take less than 2 minutes, such as answering short messages, cleaning a small space, or reviewing a planner item. 1. Prioritize immediate actions. Whenever a task comes up that fits the rule, tackle it before moving on to something else. 2. Make a habit of it. Over time, this practice becomes automatic. You'll start to tackle smaller tasks without even having to think about them. 3. Avoid procrastinating. Remember that the effort required to do something immediately is usually less than the hassle of remembering to do it later. Benefits of the 2-minute rule. Reduced stress. Fewer to-dos means fewer worries piling up. Feeling more productive. Completing quick tasks gives you a sense of immediate progress. Increased motivation. Small wins throughout the day create positive momentum. Preventing task backlog. Tackling small tasks immediately prevents them from turning into a long, demotivating list. Incorporating the 2-minute rule into your routine may seem like a small change, but its results are transformative. It teaches you to value time and the importance of taking action, even on seemingly insignificant issues. By doing so, you not only improve your efficiency, but you also build a proactive mindset that benefits every aspect of your life. How about starting now? Find something that takes 2 minutes to do and do it right away. This is the best way to put the rule into practice and experience its benefits firsthand. The Golden Rule. The foundation for harmonious relationships and unlimited opportunities. Treat others as you would like to be treated. This simple phrase carries one of the most universal and powerful principles that exist, known as the Golden Rule. Although its application is straightforward, its essence goes far beyond the obvious, becoming a moral compass that guides not only our daily interactions, but also the way we shape our lives and build our future. The Golden Rule is a bridge that connects different cultures, beliefs, and traditions around the world. At its core, it invites us to practice empathy, putting ourselves in the other person's shoes before acting or speaking. This exercise of imagination and compassion allows us to see the world from different perspectives, strengthening mutual understanding and promoting more harmonious coexistence. When we apply the Golden Rule consistently, we realize how it has the power to transform relationships. In the workplace, for example, treating others with respect, consideration, and fairness creates an atmosphere of trust and collaboration. Not only does this increase collective productivity, it also establishes a solid reputation, which can open unexpected doors to professional opportunities. Similarly, in personal relationships, demonstrating kindness and understanding creates deeper and more lasting bonds, bringing a sense of genuine connection with others. More than a guide for interpersonal interactions, the Golden Rule also acts as a reflection of our own character. When we choose to treat others with dignity and respect, regardless of who they are or how they behave, we demonstrate the kind of person we want to be. This high standard of behavior not only benefits others, but also helps us grow as individuals, cultivating values such as patience, humility, and generosity. In addition, practicing the Golden Rule has a positive impact that extends far beyond immediate interactions. When we choose to treat others the way we would like to be treated, we create a cycle of kindness and reciprocity. People who are treated well are often more willing to reciprocate that treatment, perpetuating an environment of positivity. This ripple effect can eventually touch the lives of countless people, generating a wave of altruistic attitudes that transcend our own sphere of influence. Another powerful dimension of the Golden Rule is in the creation of opportunities. Often, a simple act of kindness or a word of encouragement can open doors that we never imagined. A person who feels valued and respected tends to remember those who treated them well, whether it be for a referral, a partnership, or even a gesture of reciprocation in the future. Life is full of unexpected moments, and those who choose to practice the Golden Rule often find that it is a powerful ally in building a network of support and opportunities. It is important to remember that applying the Golden Rule does not mean being passive or accepting inappropriate behavior. On the contrary, it is about acting assertively and respectfully, even in challenging situations. In moments of conflict, for example, treating others with dignity can diffuse tensions and facilitate the peaceful resolution of the problem. It is a way of demonstrating emotional strength and integrity, qualities that are highly valued in any context. Finally, the Golden Rule reminds us that, deep down, we are all connected. The choices we make, the way we treat others, and the actions we adopt have a direct impact on the kind of world we help create. When we choose to practice the Golden Rule, we are, in effect, investing in a kinder, more just, and more welcoming world for everyone. Remember, every interaction is an opportunity to put this principle into practice. Whether it's with a friend, a coworker, a stranger, or even someone who thinks differently than you, treating others the way you would like to be treated is always worthwhile. The Golden Rule is not just a guideline for good relationships. It's a path to creating a more meaningful life, where respect and empathy become the foundations of our legacy. Money is time. Rethinking the real value of things. The relationship between money and time is much deeper than it seems at first glance. When we think of our expenses in terms of hours worked, we begin to see money as something more tangible and connected to the effort we put into earning it. This perspective helps us understand the real value of things and, consequently, make more conscious financial choices that are aligned with our life priorities. Imagine, for example, that you want to buy an item that costs $60. If your salary is $4 per hour, this means that the cost of this item is equivalent to 20 hours of work. When you translate the monetary value into the time it took to earn it, the purchase becomes a more informed decision. This approach brings clarity to the effort required to fulfill your desires and often makes us reconsider what is really worth it. This simple calculation can have a transformative impact on the way we view consumption. It invites us to reflect on whether the momentary pleasure of a purchase justifies the precious time we dedicate to achieving it. Is it worth spending an entire day of work to acquire something that will have little impact on our lives in the long term? Or perhaps, when thinking about the cost in terms of time, we realize that some expenses do not make sense and that the money could be directed towards something more meaningful, such as investing in experiences, education, or even our financial freedom. In addition to helping us avoid impulsive purchases, this mindset also encourages a healthier relationship with money. By valuing the time we spend earning it, we begin to treat money with more respect, recognizing it as a reflection of our effort and dedication. This does not mean living in deprivation or failing to enjoy life, but rather adopting a more strategic approach, in which each financial decision is made consciously and aligned with our goals and values. This perspective also highlights the importance of investing our time more efficiently. If money is a direct representation of the time we dedicate to work, then finding ways to optimize that time, whether through professional development, developing new skills, or investing that generates passive income, can allow us to enjoy life more while still achieving our financial goals. On the other hand, thinking of money as time helps us avoid waste in both senses. Spending money unconsciously is the equivalent of wasting the time we invested to earn it, which can lead to feelings of dissatisfaction and regret. Similarly, when we are more judicious with our spending, we free ourselves from the need to work tirelessly just to sustain a lifestyle that doesn't add real value. This connection between money and time also encourages us to value what really matters. As we begin to see our resources as an extension of our effort and time, we prioritize choices that bring lasting benefits. Instead of investing in short-term material goods, many people opt for meaningful experiences, such as travel, quality time with family, or continuous learning, because they understand that these moments are priceless and are true investments in personal well-being. Ultimately, recognizing that money is time gives us the power to take control of our lives. It is a constant reminder that our time is limited and therefore we must use it wisely, both in how we earn money and how we spend it. Every financial choice is, in fact, a choice about how we are using the time we have, and this awareness helps us align our actions with what we truly value. So, by adopting this mindset, you not only make more informed financial choices, but you also gain a new perspective on what it means to live a balanced and meaningful life. After all, money can be earned back, but time, once spent, can never be returned. Use it wisely and invest in things that bring true value to your life. The 100-hour rule. Focus on what really matters. The 100-hour rule is a powerful principle that helps us reorganize the way we invest our time and energy, directing our actions toward more effective results that align with our goals. It suggests that we should divide our time between areas in which we have different levels of skill. Those we do very well, those we perform averagely, and those we are simply not good at. This division allows us to assess where it is most worthwhile to focus our efforts and where we should be strategic about our involvement. Successful people apply this concept almost intuitively, always prioritizing what they do best. Instead of trying to be average in many areas, they dedicate the majority of their time, somewhere around 80% or more, to the activities that maximize their talents and generate the best results. This approach is based on the idea that by focusing our efforts on what we are truly good at, we can significantly increase our productivity, create a deeper impact, and gain greater satisfaction from our work and achievements. When you spend more time on what you do well, you are investing in what I might call your zone of excellence. This is where you can excel, build a solid reputation, and create value for yourself and others. Your efficiency increases because you already have the skills and knowledge that make your work more fluid and your results more consistent. In addition, focusing on what you do best reduces emotional and physical exhaustion, since you are working on something that you are likely to enjoy and feel confident about. On the other hand, spending significant time on activities that you are only average at can be counterproductive. These tasks do not necessarily yield great returns, and the effort to improve them often does not compare to the impact you could achieve by further developing your already developed skills. This doesn't mean you should ignore these areas altogether, but rather that you should approach them strategically, perhaps by delegating or simplifying tasks so that they don't consume more energy than necessary. As for the areas in which you lack skill, it's important to acknowledge them without guilt. No one is good at everything, and trying to excel at something that's outside your comfort zone or your interests can lead to frustration and wasted time. The only exception here is when these activities are part of a hobby or something you genuinely enjoy doing, even if you're not particularly skilled. In this case, the time invested can have an emotional or personal return that justifies the effort, since happiness and well-being are just as important as productivity. This rule also teaches us the importance of valuing our strengths and not wasting time trying to fit into molds that don't correspond to our true nature. For example, if you are an excellent communicator, it makes more sense to invest your time in developing communication skills, such as public speaking or persuasive writing, rather than trying to become an accountant if that is not something you enjoy or have an affinity for. By embracing who you are and where your strengths lie, you create a more natural path to success and fulfillment. In addition, the 100-hour rule encourages us to constantly analyze how we are spending our time. This involves identifying which tasks are consuming the most energy and whether those tasks are truly aligned with our long-term goals. Too often, we find ourselves wasting our efforts on activities that ultimately have little impact on our overall results. This awareness gives us the opportunity to redirect our time toward what really matters. Ultimately, the 100-hour rule is not just about productivity. It is also about creating a more balanced and meaningful life. By prioritizing what we do well, we can achieve not only financial or professional results, but also a greater sense of purpose and fulfillment. After all, time is our most precious resource, and using it wisely means being closer to living the life we truly want. The 80-20 rule. The power of focusing on high-impact actions. The 80-20 rule, also known as the Pareto principle, is a transformative approach to maximizing efficiency and results in virtually every area of life. This concept, first identified by Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, states that approximately 80% of your results come from just 20% of your actions. In other words, a small portion of your efforts are responsible for the majority of your gains, while the majority of what you do has a relatively smaller impact. Applying this rule to your daily life requires careful analysis to identify which activities really have the greatest impact on your results. It is essential to evaluate how you are using your time and energy, as we often end up overloading ourselves with tasks that, although they may seem urgent, do not have a significant impact in the long term. Recognizing and prioritizing the 20% that generates the most results is the key to achieving more with less effort and time. Imagine, for example, that you are a sales professional. When reviewing your metrics, you realize that 20% of your customers generate 80% of your revenue. Applying the 80-20 rule suggests that you focus more time and resources on these highest value customers, ensuring that they have an exceptional experience. By doing so, you not only optimize your efforts, but also maximize results, creating stronger relationships and increasing the chances of future returns. On a personal level, the principle can also be extremely useful. Think about your daily routine. What activities really contribute to your growth, happiness, or well-being? It is likely that a small part of your actions is responsible for the majority of your sense of fulfillment and progress. Identifying these activities and prioritizing them can transform the way you live. For example, perhaps 20% of your time invested in habits such as meditation, exercise, or reading is responsible for 80% of the positive impact on your mental and physical health. One of the great benefits of the 80-20 rule is that it helps us eliminate wasted time and energy on low-impact activities. How many times have you been busy all day, but at the end of the day, you feel like you haven't accomplished anything of significance? That's because being busy doesn't always mean being productive. Busyness is often tied to tasks that fall into the least relevant 80%, while true productivity comes from focusing on the highest impact 20%. Applying the 80-20 rule also requires the courage to say no to certain things. When you understand that not everything carries the same weight, it becomes easier to decline invitations, projects, or tasks that aren't aligned with your goals. This kind of clarity is essential to avoiding burnout and ensuring that your energy is directed toward what really matters. In addition, the principle is extremely flexible and can be applied to many areas. In business, it helps companies understand which products or services generate the most revenue. In time management, it allows you to discover which commitments have the greatest impact on your progress. In relationships, it can reveal which connections bring you the most joy and emotional support. This kind of analysis creates a solid foundation for smarter, more effective decisions. While the 80-20 rule is not an exact mathematical model, its essence lies in recognizing the natural imbalance that exists in many aspects of life. This imbalance is an invitation to adopt a more strategic approach, one that focuses on quality rather than quantity. After all, it's not about how much you do, but about the impact of what you do. Finally, adopting the 80-20 rule doesn't mean completely ignoring the other 80% of your activities. There are times when these activities are important, too, especially if they're related to obligations that need to be met. However, the key is to make sure that the crucial 20% gets the attention it deserves. When you start living and working with this principle in mind, you'll find that you can achieve much more with less effort, freeing up time and energy for the things that really matter. Live poor to grow rich. The secret to sustained wealth accumulation. Maintaining a simple lifestyle, even as your financial gains begin to grow, is one of the smartest strategies for building and preserving wealth over time. While the temptation to spend more as you earn more is strong, resisting that urge can make all the difference between achieving financial freedom or getting stuck in a cycle of high earnings but no significant savings. This concept does not mean living in poverty, but rather adopting a mindset of frugality and discipline, focusing on what really matters for the future. Many people fall into the trap of increasing their lifestyle in proportion to their income, a phenomenon known as lifestyle inflation. An increase in income often leads to the purchase of more expensive goods, such as luxury cars, designer clothes, frequent dinners at fancy restaurants, and a larger home than necessary. While these expenses may seem like fair rewards for hard work, they quickly eat up the additional resources, leaving little or nothing for savings, investments, or emergencies. Choosing to live financially poor means prioritizing simplicity and control over your spending. Instead of spending impulsively, you learn to differentiate between wants and needs. This could involve living in a smaller home, driving a used car, cooking meals at home, and avoiding purchases based on status or social pressure. This approach allows you to allocate a substantial portion of your income to investments, creating a solid foundation for a prosperous future. Accumulating wealth depends not only on how much you earn, but more importantly, how much you can keep and grow. Great fortunes are often built not through exorbitant gains, but rather through the efficient management of available resources. Every dollar saved and invested today can multiply over time, thanks to the power of compound interest. By adopting a simple lifestyle, you maximize the amount of money that can be allocated to investments, accelerating your path to financial independence. In addition, living simply fosters a mindset of gratitude and contentment. When you learn to appreciate what you already have, rather than constantly seeking more, you realize that true wealth lies not in overconsumption, but in the freedom to make smart financial choices. This perspective also helps reduce financial stress, because you know that you are prepared to deal with unexpected events without compromising your stability. It is important to remember that this approach does not mean depriving yourself of everything. The goal is not to live a life of scarcity, but rather to find a healthy balance between spending wisely and prioritizing the future. Set aside money for experiences and items that truly add value to your life, such as meaningful travel, ongoing learning, or hobbies that bring you happiness. By doing this, you avoid feeling like you're making a huge sacrifice and stay motivated to continue on the path to financial simplicity. A big lesson from living poor to become rich is developing self-discipline and patience skills. Building wealth doesn't happen overnight, but rather through consistent decisions over time. When you choose to delay immediate gratification, you'll find that the rewards in the future are much greater. For example, instead of splurging on a new car every 3 years, maintaining a reliable vehicle for longer can free up thousands of dollars for investments that could turn into millions in the future. In addition, this philosophy creates a buffer against financial volatility. By living below your means, you build a buffer that can be vital in times of crisis, such as job loss, economic downturn, or unexpected expenses. Having a robust emergency fund and solid investments not only provides peace of mind, but also the ability to seize opportunities that arise during difficult times, such as investing in falling markets. Ultimately, living poor is a mindset that challenges societal norms of consumption and ostentation. In a world where wealth is often measured by the visible, like fancy cars, expensive clothes, and extravagant homes, this approach values the invisible: healthy bank accounts, well-structured investments, and the freedom to choose how to live. This shift in perspective may seem counterintuitive to some, but those who embrace this philosophy often find that, in the long run, simplicity is the true luxury. In short, living poor to become rich is not about giving up all of life's pleasures, but rather about adopting a conscious, future-focused lifestyle. By keeping your spending in check and prioritizing investments, you put yourself in a position of financial power that provides not only security, but also the freedom to live life on your own terms. This is the true essence of wealth. Not spending more, but having the choice to spend when it really matters. Always do the right thing. A principle for living with purpose and integrity. Choosing to always do the right thing is one of the most fundamental and powerful principles a person can adopt in life. It involves a daily commitment to honesty, kindness, and discipline, even when faced with challenging circumstances or choices that seem easier at the time. This stance takes courage, but the rewards it brings, both to you and to those around you, are immeasurable. Honesty is the foundation of all healthy relationships, whether with coworkers, friends, family, or yourself. Being honest doesn't just mean telling the truth, it also means living authentically, aligning your words with your actions. It's easy to fall into the trap of convenient lies or omissions that avoid confrontation, but genuine honesty builds trust, which is the foundation of any meaningful connection. When you choose to be honest, even if it means facing challenges or admitting mistakes, you strengthen your reputation and create a space where people can trust you unconditionally. Kindness, on the other hand, is an act of generosity that often costs little but has a profound impact. Being kind doesn't mean being passive or allowing others to take advantage of you, but rather approaching situations and people with empathy and respect. A single act of kindness, such as a smile, an encouraging word, or an understanding attitude, can completely transform someone's day. More than that, kindness has the power to create a ripple effect. When you treat others with care and respect, they are inspired to do the same, creating a chain of positive actions that ripples out into your community and beyond. Discipline is the third essential piece to always doing the right thing, because oftentimes, the right path isn't the easiest or most immediate one. Having discipline means staying focused on what's important, even when distractions or temporary rewards seem more appealing. That might mean working hard on a project even when you're tired, or resisting the temptation to make choices that compromise your values. Discipline is the engine that sustains your ethical decisions over time, ensuring that your actions consistently reflect your principles. Small choices, though they may often seem insignificant, have an immense cumulative impact on how you shape your identity. Choosing to be honest in a small situation today sets the stage for being honest in larger challenges in the future. Being kind to someone, even when you're having a tough day, reinforces the habit of approaching others with empathy, regardless of the circumstances. Choosing discipline in a moment of weakness strengthens your ability to sustain larger commitments later in life. These small choices also have the power to create a lasting impact. When you act with integrity and do the right thing, even when no one is looking, you inspire trust and admiration. You set an example for others, showing that it is possible to live a life guided by solid principles, even in a world where opportunism and the pursuit of quick gains often prevail. More than that, your positive actions can generate tangible results that benefit not only you, but also your family, your colleagues, and your community. Doing the right thing won't always be easy. There will be times when being honest can be uncomfortable, when kindness can be seen as a weakness, and when discipline will require sacrifice. But it is precisely in these moments that commitment to doing what is right becomes most valuable. Choosing the ethical path is not just a matter of convenience, but rather a conscious decision to live by the values you believe in. In the long run, this consistent choice to do good and act with integrity shapes who you are as a person. It defines the legacy you will leave behind and the memories people will have of you. Being remembered as someone who always chose the right path, even in the face of challenges, is one of the most significant ways you can make an impact in life. Ultimately, always doing the right thing is not just about ethics or morality, but also about self-fulfillment and personal growth. When you act in accordance with your highest values, you feel a deep sense of purpose and alignment with yourself. Each time you choose honesty, kindness, and discipline, you strengthen your self-esteem and develop an unshakable confidence in your ability to face whatever challenges life may bring. So, by choosing to do the right thing, you are not only positively impacting the world around you, but also cultivating a fulfilling and meaningful life for yourself. Choosing to do the right thing is more than a principle. It is a daily commitment to living a life of purpose, integrity, and positive impact. Every honest choice, every act of kindness, and every moment of discipline are steps toward a stronger, truer version of yourself. Now, imagine what else you can achieve by adopting this and other principles on your journey. If you want to continue learning, getting inspired, and transforming your life, we invite you to join our channel. Here, we share ideas, tools, and practical strategies that help you reach your full potential. Subscribe now, turn on notifications, and come build, with us, the life you've always dreamed of. We are ready to inspire and grow alongside you. See you in the next video.